Hello everyone, alright, so tonight we're going to focus on what I think is a pretty decent threat for tornadoes tomorrow across portions of the Midwest here. Conditions are looking very good. I think we could be talking about some sort of an outbreak of severe weather. I don't think it'll be a major outbreak of, damaging tornadoes, but I think there's definitely going to be more than a dozen tornadoes tomorrow across the Midwest and over a wide area. Definitely over a dozen in a wide area tomorrow afternoon and evening, and maybe even into tomorrow night. And I think some of the tornadoes that form, if conditions are right, could be damaging and maybe even life-threatening. But let's not overplay this yet before I explain myself. Now, also, I'm a bit sick, so I apologize if I'm coughing and sniffling through the entire video set here, but I'm doing my best here. But this is your water vapor imagery satellite. This is courtesy of AccuWeather.com. This is currently what's going on. You currently have an area of low pressure back over western Oklahoma and northwestern Texas in the panhandles there. You have your trough, which is extending back across the southwest here. And so your area of low pressure is on the northeastern side of that, and I will show you that on the GFS in a few minutes. But on the southeastern side of this, you have a strong low-level jet in the atmosphere there, those strong winds, low-level winds, and they're coming out of the south and southwest. So what that's doing is that's pulling in moisture from the Gulf and shooting it back up onto the eastern side of the trough area of low pressure, and you're getting really abundant moisture coming together here over eastern Kansas and Missouri. And you've got some intense thunderstorms forming there. Some supercells are forming across eastern Kansas and Missouri right now. I believe there is a tornado and severe thunderstorm watch out in these areas here for a good portion of the night. We will be taking a look at that. And then to the east, take a look at this. You have another area of moisture developing over Kentucky and Tennessee. You have your main trough, which is back across the southwest. Then earlier today, we had a piece of energy come out of the south and just shoot northeast into the part of the country here over Kentucky and Tennessee and eastern Missouri and Arkansas. And this has also spawned up an area of showers and thunderstorms across this area as well. Your main severe threat is back with this disturbance out here, but at the same point, this little piece of energy that kind of just came out of nowhere also created its own area of thunderstorms as well across this area further east. Okay, so that's what we are watching. If you go to your visible satellite, once again, alright, so you can see your disturbance that we're watching is all the way back in here. This is actually the trough is back in here. Your center of low pressure right in here. And the low-level jet spawning up these storms. Another piece of energy is down in here. And there's your second area of storms. So now let's go to the radar. And here you go. You can see your two areas of strong severe storms. Take a look at this. Take a look at this. So you see all these dots of red, orange, and ominous looking things here. These are all supercell thunderstorms across eastern Kansas and western Missouri there. You have instability feeding that. There's decent wind shear, and there's the decent low-level winds. So all of these conditions are coming together to create these supercells. And then to the east, here's your next area of showers and storms. Not really severe, but, it's putting down some gusty winds, some heavy rain across western Kentucky and western Tennessee there. Probably towards Memphis, I believe, is over here, if I'm correct, in this area of storms. Okay, if you want to take a look at what we have for watches, warnings, and advisories here. So, if you come into southeastern Kansas, take a look at this. So, well, let's just zoom out quick. So this yellow area here is your tornado watch. That's in southeastern Kansas and into western Missouri. And then you have a severe thunderstorm watch to the northwest of that. Again, over southeastern Kansas. You see all these blue and orange areas. Those are severe thunderstorm warnings. We don't really have tornado warnings out yet. It's after daytime heating, so I think the tornado threat will decrease, but I still think it's possible with the low-level jet and the wind shear that's present, where we might be able to see a tornado or two develop over the next couple of hours before instability wanes and storms tend to weaken. But this severe threat will persist through a good portion of the night. So, this is what we have. Eureka, Kansas is currently under a severe thunderstorm warning. Let's take a closer look at some of these storms, though, on the radar. So take a look at this. These are pretty potent storms. You have one up here across just southwest of Manhattan, Kansas. Pretty strong there. There's red. There's even purple there. That's usually a good indication of large hail. You have another storm back here southwest of Hutchinson, Kansas. Not as potent yet, but it could strengthen as it gets into the shear and instability. And then just southeast of Wichita, when I see a signature like this, I get worried. It looks like you have a bow echo down in here on the southeastern side. Kind of a hook signature. And that is usually indicative of rotation in the atmosphere. So this supercell here could have some rotation, and maybe there could be a tornado in the near future. We'll have to watch that. Excuse me. But also what the bow echo is indicative of is very damaging winds, very destructive winds. So that would be a good threat with this storm, I would say. And then back into here, this supercell is kind of flattened. So again, on the southwestern side of these, when you see this signature here, you have to worry about some rotation and tornadoes to form. There aren't tornado warnings out on these yet, so I wouldn't say, panic and go to your basements just yet, but keep an eye on this, because I think this signature here, this little hook down in this storm southeast of Eureka, and then southeast of Wichita especially, this bow echo in here, I think that's indicative of rotation. Certainly some damaging winds, and some large hail as well. Okay, so if you take a look at some of these warnings here, let's see what the National Weather Service says. Okay, so as I said, large hail is definitely a threat. Golf ball size hail, damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if a couple of these storms generated some funnel clouds, at least maybe not tornadoes, but definitely some funnel clouds. So this severe thunderstorm warning goes for Butler County, Cowley County, Sedgwick County, and Sumner County. This goes until 10 p.m. Central Daylight Time. By the time I get this video uploaded, it'll be past then, probably. But, I'm still showing you this because these storms are going to move east. This storm that's just southeast of Wichita now will probably be approaching Eureka by the time I upload this video. And then Eureka right now, this supercell storm, is capable of quarter-sized hail. That the other storm southeast of Wichita was more prevalent, so I would expect that to have more of a tornado threat, damaging wind and hail threat. And then back into here. Oh, did they take down that severe thunderstorm warning now? Looks like they did. Oh, yeah. Alright, they said it weakened below limits. I really think it's decent still. So, yeah, ping pong ball sized hail with another cell. Golf ball sized hail, and then half dollar sized hail. So the main threat with these storms right now seems to be large hail. Okay, so definitely large hail. Back with this cell southwest of Hutchinson. Again, watch on the southwestern end here. I'm really concerned about the signature with this southeast of Wichita. And now Eureka, something new here. Check out this purple. That's again indicative of large hail. So I think large hail is definitely the main threat. Okay, so you can see what these storms are capable of producing. And then let's take a trek into Missouri now. And then you can see another storm back up in here. Moving into western portions of Missouri. That looks like a pretty potent storm with a decent signature. I'd say that's damaging winds and large hail again. Take a look. Golf ball sized hail. What did I say? And the reason that your main threat is large hail, it seems to be, at this time of day, the temperatures, as you head into the early evening, they're still pretty warm, and you still have a lot of instability off the surface, and so that creates what we call CAPE, or convective available potential energy, and that because there's a lot of instability, the CAPE allows the storms to form vertically upward into the atmosphere, and the more instability there is, the higher the storm forms vertically. Also, there's something that we call vertical shear, which is a difference in wind speed with as you go higher into the atmosphere, so that will also help the storms form higher up into the atmosphere, and that's where you get your large hail threat from. So as CAPE increases, your threat for large hail increases, and CAPE values were pretty high today across Kansas and western Missouri, in excess of up to 3,000 joules per kilogram. So that's why you're getting all these large hail producing cells. And again, I wouldn't be surprised if you got a couple of tornado warnings with some of these cells over the next hour or two. Excuse me. Then on the northwestern side of the storm, you can see there's winter storm warnings and stuff. So there's going to be snow across the upper Midwest here, so you're going to have to watch out for that. Now, let's get to the main part of this here. I'm going to show you the disturbance as it moves through over the next couple of, the next 24 to 36 hours. So we'll take a look at the American. Alright, so this is as of 7 p.m. tonight. So, you have this whole thing is your main disturbance. Now, you have a northern portion of this disturbance up in here. That is spawning your area of low pressure over here, which is currently across the panhandles of Texas and Oklahoma. Okay. And then back in here you have your southern jet stream energy coming in from the Pacific. This is going to spawn another area of low pressure south of this main one during the day tomorrow. And so, south of that, I will show you, you're going to have a dry line coming down across Texas and eastern Oklahoma. And I think that's going to be your main threat for severe thunderstorms there tomorrow. And then up to the north, this low pressure is going to shift to the north and east, so you have your cold front extending back across here, so that would be your primary focus for severe weather further north and east. So two triggers tomorrow are going to be present for severe thunderstorms to develop, and the conditions are going to be great. Alright, so let's watch what happens with this trough now as we head through the day tomorrow. Alright, this is still tonight, okay? Alright, so again, your northern piece shifts to the east here, your main trough. Look at what this does. So you see how it's like this? It's positively tilted. Look what happens as you move throughout. It starts to become negatively tilted. Right, and now we're into tomorrow afternoon. Your main trough axis is now across the panhandles of Texas, Oklahoma into southeastern New Mexico. Your main area of low pressure is now across Kansas. And it doesn't show it yet, but there is another area of low pressure forming across northwestern Texas in the panhandles here, as well, with this main trough here. Alright, so this is where we were. Here we go. You see the tilt's changing. It's now neutrally to slightly negative. And now you can actually see the low starts to close off a little bit. But your main area, we're at Thursday night now, but your prime area for severe weather, this is tomorrow afternoon, would be along the eastern side of this trough here, the eastern side of your low pressure, which is draping its cold front back across here. And on the southern side, where there's going to be another area of low pressure that the American model isn't showing, but trust me, it's there. The European shows it, and I believe that solution. One area of low pressure up here, severe weather to the north and east there, and then along the southern and eastern side of this trough, you have all this vorticity coming in. Wind equals energy, as AccuWeather meteorologist Bernie Reno says all the time. Wind energy is key for thunderstorms to develop, so you have all this energy coming in, your storms are going to develop.